Buongiorno from our home in Sicily. Well, you know how sometimes things happen in threes? Well, things happened in threes for us, and it was all at once. First, the car broke down, then the air conditioner broke down during the hottest week of the year. And what was the third?
My knob on my armadio broke. But the big thing about all these things that break down when you live in a foreign country is you better know where to get the stuff fixed.
Well, let's start with the
car. That's really important.
Very important, but let's start with the car. So Al and I had this beautiful day prepared. We were going to go get gas, then we were going to go shopping, then we were going to go to our regular place to get a little bit of coffee and a granita. And what happens? We put in $80 worth of gasoline. Alfred goes to turn on the car and so we asked the gas guy to look into it. That's where we started. And once we figured out he had no idea what he was doing, I called our buddy, and one of our drivers was very good with cars, and he came down to try and jump start it, but it didn't work.
Make a long story short over here. New battery, new alternator. But let's honestly, the car is 21 years old.
Lucky.
You know, do you ever watch the Beverly Hillbillies on television? Remember the jalopy that Judd Clampett used to drive? Well, that's what I drive. It's a diesel. We fill it up once every 6 weeks, okay? So it had a full tank of gas. It's humid as hell over here, hot as hell. The car breaks down. So guess what? They send us my friend Cologio. Thank God for Cologio. Immediately, his son comes up with a replacement car.
And then we had a new car, which...
Not a new car.
Well, a new car for us, an old car for sure.
A junker.
A junker, which I had fun driving around because it was much smaller and for me much more navigable. But so listen, we knew who to call, and that's one of the important things, that you have people wherever you're living, especially in a foreign country like here in Sicily, who can fix your car. Now let's go to issue number 2. On the hottest week of the year, it was like mid-90s here, warnings everywhere, heat wave. Al goes to turn on the air conditioner, and it dies, and it dies again.
It was, as they say on Car 54, Where Are You? There used to be a program. What a revolting development that was, okay? It's 100 degrees, and this was the second time in 3 months that the air conditioner
the other time the heater wasn't working, and so we know our friend and neighbor Francesco, he's a Mr. Fixer-upper. He can fix everything.
Yep.
He couldn't even fix it. So we had to call someone to come and fix it.
Well, listen, we bought an air conditioner, but we didn't buy it off of Facebook Marketplace. Don't do that, okay? We bought it at a very reputable company, Euronics, okay? With professional installers when they installed it. And it's one of those AC units that has a piece, and as you can see from the picture that Esther put up, in our bedroom. That's also heat and cold, which is awesome. And then it has a piece outside, which again, Esther, I hope is going to take another photo and do it, okay? So there are 2 pieces to this contraption, and it works wonderfully when it works, and usually it works. It's about 6 years old.
But I felt the worst for you because, you know, you, with your heart condition and everything, and you know, that bedroom. We also, by the way, only have this air conditioner in one room, and that is the bedroom. The rest of the house has fans going all over the place. But I do have to say that after a week, 2 guys came to the house, and they were actually on time. Usually they'll say, oh, we'll be there tomorrow morning at 9:30. They came at 9:30. Usually there's like, oh, I forgot this piece. We have to come back. We have to order another piece. No, they came, they fixed, and let me tell you, I even said to them, thank you very much. I'm very not used to this. You guys were on time and got it done super fast. The good news is the air conditioner is working.
See this piece right here? To fix the AC unit, if you can see it right here, it's got all these little tubes and stuff in it. The entire job, including 2 visits for them, one for them to figure out what the heck was going on, and then the second one to get the piece, come back to the warehouse and get the piece, it was less than $300. Now, living in the States in my condominium with Central here, the last time it happened to me 15 years ago, I ended up spending over almost $3,000 to get my damn thing fixed. Over here, $300.
Well, wait a sec. It was 60 for the first visit.
Yep.
When they came here to assess it.
And then
220 for the piece.
For the piece, right.
And so that's what you can expect to pay for them to fix it. Super professional and super well done.
I think that's important.
And by the way, this is the coolest weather we've had all month.
You mean right now?
Right now. I mean, we're at the beginning of August, but in July was very, very hot, so it's a good thing we have our air conditioner back.
Listen, Esther says, I don't want you to be shocked. She said, well, Alfred has a heart condition. Kind of like, I milk it a little bit, to be honest with you. I had 2 stents put in my heart 12 years ago, but I don't have a heart condition. I'm just, as they say, a seasoned professional. Kind of like long in the tooth. And I hate when it's 100 degrees out.
Who does
for
it?
12 days in a row. Hello? This one over here is like, I don't know, a reptile in terms of the hot weather. She puts a fan 6 inches in front of her face. She says, oh, Alfred, I'm just fine. I'm just fine. Meanwhile, I'm dying over here, right? So I'm happy I have my air
Listen, do you not want me to worry about you?
You want to know something?
I'll stop worrying about you.
Honestly?
Wait. Why don't you carry the waters up the stairs from now on?
Oh, that's my back. Listen, there are benefits of having a woman 20 years younger than you. So certain things I do, certain things that she does. Now, one of the things...
The reality is that I'm naturally a caretaker. That's what I do on my tour. So it's not like I just do it for you, although I do it extra special for you.
Oh my goodness gracious. So anyways,
can we talk about that other piece for crying out loud?
Okay, no, that's the second thing I wanted to take about. But you know what, this piece, when the guy pulled this chunk out,
it was all burned.
Okay, when he pulled this thing out, I was amazed at how many electronic gizmos are on this thing. There's a crap load of them. And then I thought about when our TV used to break down in Lawrence, Massachusetts when I was a young kid. And we used to have Gus, the TV repairman, come over to repair our black and white TV. His name was Gus. Gus Shudo, God rest his soul. His daughter was a good friend of mine, Angela Shudo. The whole Shudo family was just wonderful. And the guy would come in with his suitcase full of tubes, big tubes like this, right? And he'd unscrew the back of the TV. He'd be there 15 minutes, put the tube in. My mother would give him $5 or $6,
and that's
the TV was fixed.
Listen,
for some reason, this reminded me of when I was a kid, the back of a TV, the old-fashioned TVs, and here it is 100 years later, and look at these electronics, right? It's unbelievable.
So let me just tell you, I want to remind you that we didn't always have an air conditioner, and you survived no problem. You know what, an air conditioner, we in the United States, and I mean many people in the United States are used to having an air conditioner. Here it is not as common. In fact, I was talking to my golf pro, it was really hot and we were playing, and he's like, I remember going to Florida, and everywhere you go, it was air conditioned, and I would go in and I'd be freezing and then walk out and it was hot, hot, hot. That was one of the memories that he had of the United States, how used people were to air conditioning. And the other thing he said, everywhere they serve things with ice, water with ice, drinks with ice. They're not as used to that here in Sicily, let me tell you, although they are getting better. We were shocked. Remember, we were shocked to find bags of ice in the supermarket a few years ago. But that's a commodity.
She's exactly right. The first 25 years of my life in Lawrence, Mass., we didn't have an air conditioner. We never had an air conditioner. And I remember my mom, when it was like really hot, because we had like 2 little windows in our bedroom, me and my brother Tommy, she'd come in with a rag. Well, not a rag, like a washcloth. But she'd go like this with it and put it on your face and basically shut up. That's how it is.
Which is basically what you did all week.
Which is what I did for 2 weeks. Is I just wiped myself down with a cloth, and sucked it up a little bit. And even though it was lousy not having AC for 2 weeks in 100-degree temperature, I got to be honest with you, it brought back a lot of thoughts and a lot of memories of a bygone era. And
no
even
air
to this day,
conditioner.
with a lot of Sicilians that don't have AC, I was
gotta
very
tell you,
appreciative
you know,
of the
Bernie-
whole thing.
Bernie was telling that his mother, who's I think 92, one of the cousins or someone in the family has an air conditioner in all the rooms, and she literally is like, I'm freezing, I can't sit here, even though it
Yeah.
was a very hot week. So even Sicilians, especially the older generation, are like, no, we don't want air conditioner.
They do not believe in AC.
They do not
believe that
in AC.
it's going to hurt your neck and everything else.
You're gonna get a cold,
You're gonna
and
get a cold,
I gotta
and
put a shawl on.
Massimo's the same way.
But wait a second, it turns a certain temperature in a certain month here in Sicily, like let's say October, and all of a sudden everyone has their scarves, everyone has their jackets. It's just a Sicilian thing, or maybe
Well,
it's an Italian
anyways.
thing.
So
Anyways,
was
so-
that the third? That was the third thing.
The third thing that happened is the your cabinet handle broke,
okay.
which I said to Al that day. I was like, oh, thank God, it was only a minor thing. You know what? The bottom line is we have our car back, we have our air conditioner back, and the handle to the closet is fixed. So
And
now, can we move on?
Now she found out I don't have a heart condition, and she's gonna break my
Milk
chops
it.
about it forever.
Ching, honey.
All right.
All right. So in any case, and before we move on, we've had a lovely time with our friend Bernie and Michael at a live music and buffet and a beautiful little thing at the driving range. I want to tell you guys about something that I'm reading that I think you may enjoy. And I've sort of been into this for several months, but I finally bit the bullet and downloaded a $1.99 Kindle. It's a book by Marcus Aurelius. He was a Roman emperor, and he was a Roman emperor during one of the most difficult times in the Roman Empire, when there were lots of wars, there was famine, there was a plague. His son died. Imagine the emperor's dealing with all these things in the world, and then his son dies, so he's not only managing the world and the empire, but intense personal grief. And he wrote some of his thoughts down in a book that is now called Meditations. We are not sure it was meant to be put down in a book, because he was just randomly writing, and there's no evidence that he said, oh, I want this published. But someone in their wisdom, decided to put this together and call it the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. And it is a series of thoughts that he has throughout the day, during battle, during difficulties, even thoughts that he has while laying in bed and it's cold outside in the middle of winter and he's exhausted and he's thinking about what the day seems, and he's like, I don't want to get out of these warm covers, and he talks to himself and says, I have to go be a leader, I have the problems of the world I have to solve, I have to be present, I have to get up. And these types of thoughts, when I'm sure many of you guys want to stay an extra 5 minutes in bed and you're like, oh, it's too early, it's too cold, it's too hot, blah, blah, blah. They're very interesting thoughts that I've had a great joy reading, and I've thought that, wow, these things resonate even today, so many hundreds of years later.
Thousands of years later.
Thousands of years later.
To be honest with you, I'm a little bit worried about Esther this week. So I know she reads the Meditations. My daughter Jennifer reads Meditations. I've read it for many years. As a matter of fact, it was one of our books that we had to read in our philosophy program at Boston College, great book. Stoicism is what it's called.
Yes.
Is that she comes into me this week. Now this is after reading Meditations, playing her tuba.
Tuba, it's a cello,
Cello,
honey. It's
I
not
call it a tuba.
It's not one of those tubes, it's a cello.
Taking golf lessons for the last couple of months with the thing, right? She comes in, she goes, oh, I'm going out tomorrow night. What are you going to do, Esther? Oh, I'm going to do meditation. Transcendental meditation. They had some event, at the golf course.
It was awesome.
So she comes in.
It was in. Let me just explain it.
They had to get dressed up in white.
Wait, Tibetan bowls that are hit and they're put near you, and there's a huge vibration. It was under the sunset, and you had to wear white to allow the light to come in. Now, excuse me, are you busting my chops?
No, but last night we had a little discussion, and I was trying to calm her down. I got my pans, and I started to bang them. I thought it would calm her down. She ended up throwing one at me. I just don't understand it. You gotta work at that, sweetheart. Transcendental meditation. All right, let's move on. Oh my God.
Anyway, listen. One of the things the Stoics say is that you should always go on a path of improvement. Any time of your life. Listen, I look at my 82-year-old mother who's forever improving, morphing, changing. So that's what I have to say. All right. At that place, the driving range near our house, there was live music and great, like a little buffet. And so we went there with our friend Mike and Bernie. But before we went, Bernie, he's always so good. He always brings us surprises. Mike, too, by the way, thank you for my Dunkin' Donuts, my gum, and your Dunkin' Donuts. And he bought this new Amado. Here with our friend Bernie and Mike, and we're getting ready to go to a swanky event. But first, Bernie brought us something very special.
Well, so this is an amaro, which is the Sicilian version, uses the letter U. Amaro is the Italian word, and of course there are many, many, many amaros in Italy. It's basically bark mulch from your backyard, and so it's used as a digestivo, this category. So somebody would take a shot of this and after dinner and help you digest. So that's what you normally have. But these folks got a little clever with their branding, and they were able to use this branding, Amaro Unimafisu. And you'd have to go very, very, very deep into Sicilian language to go try to figure this out.
All right, so help us uncover it.
Well, okay. So Unimafisu is a word that means, basically it means what I'm fixated on.
Ooh, okay.
If you were to drive your partner crazy, for example, you would be someone who would be called Amaro Unimafisu, because God help you, because I have a new hobby. That's what this means. Amaro Unimafisu.
There you go.
Wiser words have never been spoken.
It's a very interesting play on words. It's not so easy to decode.
All right, let's go. Always a lovely time with Michael and Barney. So nice evening with our friends, and I just love that place. It has good vibes, and it's beautiful there.
The jazz music that you play, the jazz band was terrific. Bernie really enjoyed it, and so did Mike. They were, I think, a little bit surprised with the setting, Edna in the background, but I really want to thank our friends, Andrea and Francesco, the owners of the club, and of course their beautiful wives, Vanessa and Claudia.
Gabriella.
Excuse me, Gabriella. But the reason I'm saying Claudia was because
The daughter.
their daughter there is just a doll. And also I wanted to thank, also it was great seeing Pepe Strano. He's a living legend in athletics in Sicily. He came over to me. They all came over to me.
Did.
Yeah, it was just a great night. Food was great. And we're going to do that again.
There's events all the time, of course.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of how we can incorporate them into our tours, because they're 5 minutes from the hotel, and it's really worth
It's a lot
visiting.
of fun.
By the way,
A lot of fun.
speaking of tours, we have our 2026 tours up. We've got May on the East Coast, West Coast in June and July on the East Coast again, and then September, a mix of Giardini Naxos and also the Aeolian Islands. And then we have the October East Coast tour. So those are some of the things. Oh, your hat.
We have a bunch of stuff on our shop, t-shirts, hats, aprons, you name it. And before I go, I just have to give a shout out to Jim Ingram, pal Jimmy, because he's in Orlando, Florida, where it's usually 100 degrees every day over here. The big difference between here and there is I think they have much more humidity in Florida. Thank God we didn't have humidity. Now it's beautiful, 80 degrees. It changes.
So comfortable, so fast.
Oh, it's like heaven now.
All right, now let's go to downtown Catania and really to the heart of Catania, where our friend Anna Privatera has a few apartments for rent, for lease. And let me tell you, these are brand new, state-of-the-art, I would almost call them luxury apartments. And she's going to take
B&Bs?
They're B&Bs, there's some bookings, but actually if you want to look at them, we also have helped her. Now, by the way, we don't get anything from these, but she's our friend, and so we're trying to help
Give you
promote
an idea
it.
of what elegance looks like.
And also, we showed you Roberto's place. Maybe we should show Silvio's place one of these days.
These are our friends.
These are our friends, and we're trying to help promote their places. And let's go to downtown Catania and see these beautiful, very unique apartments.
Quindi siamo a 700 metri dalla stazione del treno.
So 700 meters from the train station.
Sotto questo palazzo c'è la fermata dell'autobus che porta all'aeroporto.
Okay, so you can get to the airport 7 minutes.
7 minuti dall'aeroporto.
We're seriously in the heart of Catania.
Dietro questa strada c'è
Ooh.
il Teatro Massimo.
Okay, there's Teatro Massimo.
Bellini.
There's little
La
shops.
Vietnea, con tutti I negozi quelli
Vietnam,
principali.
where all the shops are. The window's a little bit dirty, but that's okay. You guys
Questo
get
è
the
la via principale che si chiama Corso Sicilia,
yeah.
che interseca Vietnam.
You guys get the feeling where this little apartment
Là poi fanno
is.
il mercato storico.
Actually, Anna can open it from an app that she has. And by the way, we just came up on an elevator. Very spacious, beautifully decorated. Look at that.
Questa è la stanza, la tea room. o-
Tea room.
Esatto, breakfast.
And then you can have breakfast here on request and sort of a communal room over here.
E tre, perché sono solo 3 camere.
So the 3 rooms and everyone can have their drinks or
Pietra lavica ceramizzata.
questa pietra lavica. This is beautiful. And she had this commissioned herself.
Sì, questo è d'oro ed è praticamente barocco, un disegno barocco fatto apposta, unico.
Wow.
Fatto apposta.
A Baroque design. That's lovely.
Questa pure, pietra lavica ceramizzata, con disegno italiano.
Beautiful. This is made out of wood, and each one has its own design. Now, you realize we're filming this in July of 2025, and it is brand new. Come chiama questa stanza? Each one has a
Questa
room.
si chiama Meraviglia.
Meraviglia, meraviglioso. E questa?
Ciancianella,
Che significa ciancianella?
campanellina. Campanellino, una cosa graziosa, come un campanellino piccolo, una
Bello.
ciancianella.
Wow, look at this.
E questo è il nostro colore, guarda questo colore, quanto è bello.
Molto
Colore
bello.
dell'Etna.
Look at this bed. And this one has the Etna explosion, or it could be a coral. But every single thing in this room, look at that. You can charge right there.
Esatto.
And all the detail that went in here. Now this is so cute.
Guarda questo.
Questa.
Questo
That's
è
beautiful.
meraviglioso, un pezzo unico questo qua.
Everything in here, very unique, very modern, beautiful.
Questa è la nostra suite, la camera più grande.
Wow,
Ed è meravigliosa.
that is
Televisione enorme.
very beautiful. Look at that huge TV. Plenty of room. There's even a little office space. Oh, you can see the sea from here too.
Guarda il mare, vista mare. Dobbiamo inquadrare sotto, si devono costruire qua un parcheggio ma ancora.
They want to
non
make
l'hanno
parking
fatto.
spot over there. And over that way is Via Etnea. So very easy. Let's look at this bathroom.
Il grande
Even two sinks. That is beautiful. Molto bello. Che significa di Namuri?
Significa una cosa bellissima, deliziosa, fatta col cuore, con l'amore. Amore in italiano.
In siciliano?
Namuri è una cosa bella, bellissima dove c'è amore, cuore.
Questa parola siciliana?
Sì, Namuri sì.
Namuri,
è un
there you
suono,
go.
Un suono.
It
Namuri.
does sound like a song. There you go. If you're interested in those apartments, drop me a line. We already have someone that's going to be renting that place in October.
Situational awareness. When you're in the city center, no matter what city center is in any city in the world, situational awareness, as we discussed last week. You're in a city. Places are beautiful though, gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's great location. Anyway, that's it. We had a little bit of everything for you today.
I had a lot of fun with you today, Esther. Thank you for letting me break your chops a bit. But I wanted to say,
What's new?
You know, she's been doing a great job on our Facebook of the reels. Jeez, we got 2.5 million views last month. Can you believe that? 2.5 million views. Our community is growing. There's a button down there if you press, you could be a member of our community, $2.99 or $1.99. We now have a Legends Club for our experienced travelers where they get basically a lifetime discount. So we're kind of doing a lot of good stuff. But, as I said last week,
We gotta
without
keep
you,
doing more.
nothing, okay? We believe that you are at the bottom of the whole you, me, and Sicily,
For sure.
whatever you call it. It's great. We want to thank you very much. We love you very much. We're always a phone call away. If you have a message, she'll take it because...
Anyway, listen, love you guys. We truly mean it.
God bless you.
See you in another video. Ciao.